So today I will read Unit 9, Love Japanese Style. Love Japanese Style. When Mr. Yoji Morita married Miss Tamiko Minemura last year, his father compared the couple's new life together to a railroad train on a long, known track. There may be curves and dark tunnels ahead, he told them, but we wish you a safe journey. The first year of that journey together has provided a variety of personal discoveries about everything from dirty laundry to family finance for the newlyweds. But overall, the young couple, who are typical of millions of Japanese, say their semi-arranged marriage is going well, and they feel a certain closeness slowly developing between them. Who has kept her job as a bank teller? She does such nice things, said her husband, a 35-year-old television film editor. The other day, when I was sick in bed, she gave up a trip to the country with her friends to stay home and care for me. During each of their sick work days a week, they talk by phone and almost always meet each evening to make the 1 hour train ride home together. In the streets, they hold hands. In restaurants, they sometimes playfully touch each other. These are subtle but significant changes in the growth of a Japanese marriage relationship. It is quite different from the day when they met at an arranged tea after their fathers. Old friends from work exchanged photographs and suggested the possibility of a marriage between their two children. The two young people, who could have said no to the idea, did not even get to speak at first. 10 days after this meeting, Mr. Morita phoned Miss Minemura to propose. She decided almost immediately but waited 3 days to answer. I will make you happy, Mr. Morita promised. Then, in October, Japan's most popular marriage month, the two families were joined in a wedding and reception that cost about $1,360,000. It was planned to be the most important day in their lives. The two newlyweds, who had never kissed each other until that day, spent their wedding night on the 19th floor of a nearby hotel. Then they left for a quiet southern vacation resort on a short honeymoon. They live in the two upstairs rooms of the home of Mr. Morita's parents. There, they usually eat breakfast and dinner with the other couple and frequently watch an hour of television together. The mother-in-law cooks during the week, and the new bride cooks on Sundays. In exchange, the young couple pays $280 of their combined income for food and housing costs. They save $240 a month for the coffee shop that Mr. Morita would like to open, and for the 3 children they plan to have. When they have children, the bank may force Mrs. Morita to quit, or she may choose to. I won't tell her what to do, said Mr. Morita. If she wants to quit, okay. If she wants to work, okay. Politically, they have separate views. But we never fight, Mrs. Morita said. We don't hit each other like some couples. If a quarrel is heating up, then we both just keep quiet and let it blow over. Besides, he often apologizes to me, and that solves the problem. But Mr. Morita has, in his first 13 months of marriage, sometimes been annoyed by what he regards as nagging. Typically, this happens when he leaves socks or shirts scattered about. This carelessness, combined with all the housework after a day's work at the bank, was the major unexpected fact of married life for Mrs. Morita. I have to tell him and tell him to pick up, she said. There are those tender private moments, often at work when, for instance, Mr. Morita realized suddenly that every weekend when his wife cooks a meal, it contains his favorite potatoes. Or Mrs. Morita will think about the sweater she is knitting for her husband, not because I have to, but because I want to. Or perhaps she will admire one more time the ring that her husband had a jeweler secretly design and make for her recently. I don't know why I did it. Mr. Morita insists. It was for no reason. Last year, on her wedding day, when she was a bride of only a few minutes, Mrs. Morita said, I think that our love will start to grow from this moment on. The other evening, after 13 months of marriage, she was reminded of that. I remember, she said it's growing. Okay, I think that's all about Unit 9. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.